thanks to the support as a channel member, Harvey2478. Oh, folks, if this all goes our way today, we could end the episode 9 points clear at the top of the league with 9 games remaining. That's pretty close to having back-to-back sewn up, I think. Of course, it does rely on us picking up 2 big wins. We're at home against Northampton, who are down in 7th place, and then we're away against 2nd place Scarborough, who are the team that are currently 6 points behind us, but with a worse goal difference. So we're basically 7 points ahead of them. That's how I judge these things. Since you were last with me, form, as you can imagine by looking at that league table, has been pretty solid. In fact, we've won our last 6 games in a row in the league, which is what's put us in the dominant position that we're in. And lovely to see the return of Bruno Sena to goal-scoring form, rotating with Thomas and Day. And Thomas has spent some time playing out on the left wing because we've had wingers. You saw in the last episode, we had our winger recalled. So we are sharing the goals around a little bit now between our 3 strikers, and we have promised Sena that he'll get a bit more game time as well. So he will need to get a little bit more game time, but not against Northampton because he played midweek. So for the Northampton game, we go to this, which does involve new loan signing Gary Nichols, who's come in for the rest of the season on loan from West Ham. He's played 4 games for us so far. Nothing spectacular just yet, but he's definitely my kind of nice, fast winger, although he wants to play on the right-hand side of midfield rather than the right wing. And you know what football managers like for things like that. It'll be penalising him for playing there rather than there, which is very silly. But this is the team for the game against Northampton, and it is the glorious return in goal of Casagrande. He's not match fit. He hasn't played at all since getting injured in the last episode. But obviously, if he's fit, as we saw in the playoffs last year, if he's fit, he comes straight back in. Although, to be fair, Graham hasn't let us down at all. He's averaged a 7.07 in the 10 matches he's played with Casagrande injured, including that 6-match winning run. It's actually a higher average rating this season than Casagrande's. Casagrande on a 7.05, Graham on a 7.06. So Graham is right up there, but he's no Casagrande, is he? So Casagrande in goal, a back four of Strachan, Brown, Captain Kirk and Cannaville, Uribe and Compton in midfield, Reece Dott in place from the left today with Nichols on the right, and then it's Thomas and Day up front. We need a win here to set ourselves up for another win against Scarborough, and then we're basically home and dry. Anything other than 2 wins today, and there's still the possibility of us falling down into the playoffs when we inevitably have the rough run of form towards the end of the season. I think we've all probably played enough Football Manager to know that there's no way we're just going to keep winning all the way through to the end of the season. We're going to hit that spell of form where we just can't buy a win. We can't score a goal. We've all been there. The trick is to be far enough ahead of our rivals when that form hits, which is why we need to accumulate as many points as we possibly can now, while form is good. Is worth noting, of course, that those 6 wins in a row were all played yesterday. So there is a chance that the good old RNG, not only have I left the game, I've had a power cut since those 6 wins in a row. So I've had to restart my computer, which is only the second time I think I've done that since FM26 has been out. So we've done a mega reset of the RNG. Anything can happen from here, boys and girls. Form goes out the window. And as you can see, as it stands right now, Rochdale, who are ahead in their game, do go within 4 points of us as it stands right now. I guess this is quite the local derby for us, actually, Bedford versus Northampton. I don't think they're a million miles away from each other. I've never driven between the two, but I can't imagine it would take longer than about half hour, 40 minutes. Feel free to let me know if you are an expert in that journey. I'm definitely not. I try to avoid going to Northampton as much as is humanly possible. Well, I did go to university in Bedford, so I am... That's annoying. I mean, I don't want to look at Casagrande, but he has got competition for the first time in his Bedford career. And I know he's not fit, but he's 6'4". I guess the thing he's got going for him there compared to Graham is he is 6 inches taller than Graham. So if Casagrande can't reach it, Graham wouldn't even have seen it. Unless, of course, he's further back on his line, maybe better positioned. But I think that's probably expecting a lot and would probably be a little bit harsh on Casagrande. I think ultimately it was just a very, very good goal. But it is annoying when stuff like that happens, when we were so good before the power cut. Right, ball forward for Thomas. Thomas brings it down his chest. Thomas now through on goal. And Ollie Thomas with the immediate reply. I told you this guy had started scoring. And there's an example of it. He really doesn't want to keep getting pushed out onto that left wing. Every time Bruno Sena comes into the team, Thomas goes out onto the left and Nichols drops out of the team. And then Thomas goes back up front and scores because he doesn't want to play out wide. So, I mean, it's working. We've got competition for places in a key position, and we've got 3 strikers who are all scoring goals at the moment, which is certainly a situation that we want to be in. Right, second half, we've not felt the need to make any changes. Uribe plays it out to Reece Dottin, who cuts inside onto his stronger right foot. And now it's back with Captain Kirk, who's wearing gloves with a short sleeve shirt, which is a fashion choice. Ball over the top, looking for Day. I don't think it's Johnny Day today. He's not really done much yet, but you never know. He can always grab a goal out of absolutely nowhere. But it is Northampton once again trying to get an attack up and running, and they're doing a pretty good job of keeping hold of possession of the ball here. We don't look like we're going to get anywhere near winning it back. Casagrande's got that covered. Sweeper keeper, look at that, plays it out to Reece Dottin, and now we rebuild through Strachan at left back, plays it forward for Thomas, who has now drifted out onto this left hand side. There you go, he's realised it and got away from that part of the pitch as quickly as he possibly can, and then unfortunately is pretty wasteful with his shot. He could have looked to slot Day in there, but decided against it. Feel like possibly something of a mistake. That's better from Casagrande. There you go. He had one wobble for the goal, but now he's back to what he does best. He's just a dominant goalkeeper at this level. Ball forward for Thomas, who nods it down to Day. That's more good target man work from Thomas. And now Nichols. In fact, it's an own goal. Nichols looked like he just slid it under the goalkeeper. I think the reason such a tame shot has gone under the keeper is because it's probably taken an enormous deflection, which is why it's gone down as an own goal. So I think Nichols is probably trying for the cross. Yeah, and it's come off their defender's knee and just bobbled the opposite side of the keeper to where he was expecting it. I mean, we don't care how it's gone in. The important thing is it has gone in. I think it's a little bit harsh on Nichols that it doesn't go down as an assist for him. But who am I to decide what's an assist and what's not? I think that's an assist in real life, right? Surely you get assists on own goals, don't you? I think you do. Right, we've got a corner here. We rarely see corners in highlights. We might be about to do a corner goal. Reece Dottin to Captain Kirk, who rattles the crossbar. But it comes away and it's back with Cannaville, who tries to get it back into the mix, but it's completely aimless. Didn't even make it into the penalty area. I mean, he's done well to win it back again there, but he did kind of cost us the counter-attack to the counter-attack as part of that. And now it is Northampton coming at us again. It's been a weirdly long highlight. Northampton with the cross. Cannaville, who seems to be last-ditch defender over and over again at the moment. I mean, I guess that's the advantage of playing a centre-back out at right-back. He is able to step in and get involved with those last-ditch defensive efforts. Johnny Day now going out wide on the right-hand side, lays it off to Nichols. Nichols trying to get past his man and failing. And it's back with Northampton again. This is a weirdly long highlight. It's still, there must be a goal coming at the end of this. I just have no idea which end of the pitch it's most likely to happen at. Kirk now plays it forward to Nichols. It's back with Cannaville again, who lumps it forward for Thomas, who once again flicks on to Day. And now Day into the area. That's a penalty, surely. Is that a penalty? It's a yellow card for non-league to legend veteran Eli Campbell. But apparently not a penalty. That whole 20-minute long highlight was leading up to watching them get booked for a clumsy challenge. What a strange game this is at times. Right, we're going to bring on Sena. Thomas is going to go out wide. We're also going to bring on Moore on that right-hand side. And then I think we'll bring on Shield for Cannaville just to get a proper fullback on there. But, I mean, we're really just rotating in players who play more often than not. Anyway, we're playing a lot of football at the moment. I don't know why Brown was the guy out there doing the cross. He's our centre-back. I would love to see what circumstances led up to our centre-back. And there he's there receiving it from the goal kick. That was very odd. Right, Moore, who's just come on, of course, skips past his man. Oh, he's whipped that across goal. Both Day and Sena were there, ready for the tap in. It eludes them both and goes behind for the goal kick. We have been much the better team today, by the way. And actually, as it stands right now, Scarborough must be losing because we're 9 points clear of them currently, which means we'd go into the game against them potentially able to go a ridiculous 12 points clear of them. I mean, it won't be 12 points clear of everybody, but it'd certainly be a nice situation to be in. Right, we're just going to bring Ness on, move Brown forward into the midfield. He can play there. Geo Smith can come on and play on that left-hand side. I want to see what's going on with Scarborough. Scarborough seem to be absolutely crumbling. They were top of the league relatively recently. When I picked these matches for this episode, they were still top of the league. Right, Casagrande plays it forward, looking for Cena. And unlike what we were seeing with Thomas earlier in the match, Cena, despite being much taller and theoretically much more of a physical presence, doesn't win the ball in the air, but now more getting the counter-attack up and running in. He seems to have had the better of this left-back since he's been on. And, I mean, probably just shouldn't speak. It's probably the easiest way. Right, Scarborough are losing to Rochdale. So it's actually Rochdale moving above them into second place. That's why they're losing. So we'll still only be 6 points clear of Rochdale. So we might still only end the episode 6 points clear of second place if we can pick up another win. Obviously, it depends who Rochdale are playing. But either way, part one of the job is done. We've beaten Northampton. Now all we can do is beat Scarborough. Strachan needs a little bit of a rest. We don't really have a backup left back. So I don't really know what we can do to rest him. I mean, we have got this guy who we've never really used. You know what? He can play against Scarborough. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Oh, this seems like a bad decision in the making. Right, so a couple of changes for this huge game against Scarborough. Smith does come in at left back. He's in on loan from Colchester. We've used him very little. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Shield comes back in at right back for Cannaville, who's had his rest. And we've also taken Nichols out of the team. We've Reece Dottin back over to the right. Thomas drops out to the left. And Cena comes in to play up front. So we're playing a lot of matches very close together. That previous match was at the weekend. This is midweek, just a couple of days later. As you've seen, we have got players suffering with tiredness. It's why Shield didn't play the last game. It's why Strachan's not playing today. We are trying to rotate, but the squad's not deep enough to do proper rotation. And let's face it, we're not going to properly rotate against Scarborough anyway, because it's such a big match. What are Rochdale doing while all this is going on? Rochdale are away against Sutton, who are way down in the relegation zone. So Rochdale should win again, which means all the pressure piles back onto us in this big away game to dole out a bit more punishment to Scarborough and hopefully pick up 3 points. Otherwise, we're going to let Rochdale start catching us up, which is not ideal. Right, Reece Dottin has picked up a knock, which is also not ideal. How do I, is he actually, there's not actually any way on there to see if he's fit, is there? I'll have to look down now. I mean, he looks fine on there. I wanted to try and show you. You might be able to see him. I'm not quite sure if my camera covers him as it is. But yeah, he looks fine. So we are going to leave him on. And we're just going to check in on what Rochdale are up to. Rochdale presumably drawing. They are still drawing 0-0 against Sutton. So, I mean, if everything ends like this will be fine. We'll take a 0-0 if they do a 0-0 and we end the episode 6 points clear. That works for me. Right, we are going to leave Reece Dottin on. We do have Nichols on the bench. We've got Moore on the bench. So we have got options to come on. Thomas out on the left-hand side hasn't really, I mean, none of the attack have really done very much today. It's been a very odd game. There's not been very much happening until now, and this looks like this might be a Scarborough highlight as they try and break through our middle, which is not ideal. They're playing the ball over the top, and Captain Kirk has got that covered, but there's a big deflection in there, and we've had a little bit of luck. That Casagrande was wrong-footed, but they've basically almost missed an open goal there and fired it into the base of the post, and it goes wide. And now, hopefully, this is our highlight, although Cena has given the ball away, and he's done that in both of the highlights we've seen so far have started with Bruno Cena giving the ball away. So I know we've got to keep an eye on Reece Dottin. I'm tempted to take Cena off and get Thomas up front. And, Casagrande. This isn't what we get from a fully fit Casagrande. He's still not match fit. And he just doesn't do this very often at all. But he just couldn't get there. And that's the sort of thing where with a bit of match fitness, he might well have got there. Now I'm in a situation where I don't really want to take off one of my strikers when we're losing, which is also problematic. We need to check in on Rochdale, because if they're winning and we're losing, this episode's been a disaster. Right, Thomas on the left-hand side, big deep cross, looking for Day. Oh, that looked nailed on to me. Johnny Day does not miss from there very often. It was a very good save, and Rochdale, as you can see, are now winning. They're within 3 points of us, which is not part of the script for today at all. Right, ball forward for Cena, who actually does win the header this time, but flicks it on to absolutely nobody. I think we're giving him 2 more minutes, and then he's going to be the scapegoat for what's gone on in this entire match so far. But we might be 2-0 down by then. Casagrande makes the save. Right, we are doing some shuffling. So Thomas is going to go up front. We're going to bring on Nichols, and Rhys Dottin is probably going to come off as well, and we'll bring on Moore because Rhys Dottin picked up that knock. And I think that'll do for now. We've gone attacking. We've switched up the front two. I think this probably is my best combination as a front two. I would say not my best combination for the wingers though. So that's not ideal. We go very attacking now. I tried to pause there and messed up. Right, we've gone very attacking. And Thomas is now tiring. We have got Taylor who can come on. He can't play that role, really. Maybe he can. He's only 5'9", bless him. Taylor's going to come on. We're also going to bring on Canaville and swap those two around. And we've got Geo Smith. It makes sense. I think we'll give it 5 more minutes and then Smith's going to come on for a defender. And we're going to get Smith in there. If we're still chasing, we are still chasing. Right, we can take off a defender here. Logically, you take off Smith. Smith for Smith. And then he's going to go in there. This is going to become a back 3. And I guess we could do that, couldn't we? That seems to make sense to me. Because Canaville obviously can play centre-back. Right. Do your thing, gentlemen. We're on very attacking, which I know the comments section loves. Rochdale are still 2-0 up in their game, so that's not being changed. We just do with an equaliser now, so at least we don't let Scarborough close the gap on us. 3 points is a lot less comfortable than I was hoping for the end of this episode. And once again, it appears that going very attacking has caused nothing to happen. Tremendous. Well, that's annoying. Taylor still hasn't scored. Obviously wasn't the right man to bring on in the circumstances. Rhys Dottin has picked up an injury, and now we've got a whole bunch of players who are tired. Aribe and Shield. And this is the problem. The games are coming so fast that we've got players starting to get tired, and tiredness is accumulating. And have we got enough oomph to drag us through the rest of the season? Now we're only 3 points clear. We don't have to play Rochdale. And our last 4 games, 3 of them are at home. April is looking like a fun month. If we can get to April, still top of the league, I think we go up. If we fall into the playoffs, I don't think we do, because the team that falls into the playoffs never does well in the playoffs. But we'll find out all about that tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.